Good evening, class. Brought to you by the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. Like I said, a couple of people come in, buy a bunch of books, but then one prick drops out at the last fucking minute. The $300-$400 package, so it erases all the other sales you make. This is the frustrating part with 12 fucking hours to go when some cunt drops out and drives you up the wall bad shit. It's just a math thing. When you're obsessed with numerology like I am, people's numbers, they fuck you up. So back to 8%. 8 fucking percent to go in 12 hours. I should be over 20 by now, but with the fucking last minute drops, it boils your fucking blood. And it makes you ask why. We keep writing so that one day I won't have to deal with fucking deadbeats. Motherfucker! Alright, as I was saying. Let's finish the first act. We finished the first quarter. Let's get back to those previous 2 pages. We're going to do 7 and 8 today. We did 5 and 6 last class. We had a lot of fun. Page 5, we cut the nightfall over Empire City, where we see several drones, cameras, dirigibles, and floodlights all surrounding Oscorp Tower, which of course has been severed by Dr. O. Even with the city under ransom, nobody could deny a good old-fashioned fight night. That is, if my opponent would choose to show up. I can only hope that my act of sudden impulse would appeal to his ego and his need to show himself to the people he's attempting to terrorize. I don't know how the commissioner would feel about this move, or Uncle Ben, but bringing him out into the open may be the only way to end this, tonight. After Dr. O makes and as the doctor makes his grand entrance, I could now see why he didn't trigger my spider sense, as I swung all over the city. No doubt more stolen tech. So in case I'm outmatched, I do have a backup plan. The canopy of the dirigible ship opens up and drops a large plasma EMP bomb over the tower. SFX of the EMP going off. The bomb detonates, taking out all the power around the Oscorp Tower skyline. SFX of the lights, cameras, and other ships losing power. And here I thought the doctor wanted to put on a show. Kick my ass with all of Empire City watching. Spiderman doesn't flinch as all the floodlight ships and drones slowly plummet away from the scene. He flexes his web shooters into attack position like a wrestler, flexing his muscles as he waits for Dr. O. Unless he thinks he's gonna lose. Page 6. Spider-Man looks up as Dr. O comes rolling out of the dirigible, descending towards him. As I hear the gears grinding, I don't need my spider sense to know that this isn't a robot. The doctor was in the house. The doctor was most definitely in the house. Inside his glass shell, his pod transforms, emerging 4 mechanical legs that hold him up like a spider as he faces off with Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Doctor, let's not rest on pomp and circumstance, shall we? Let's not rest on pomp and circumstance, shall we? Let's get rid of the shall we. Doctor, let's not rest on pomp and circumstance. Classic wrestler pose as Spider-Man leaps towards Dr. O in perfect attack formation. I learned this one from your friend Craven. With an underhanded tactic, 2 smaller mechanical arms emerge like spears from the center of Dr. O's pod, jutting out and into Spider-Man, taking him out like a battering ram to the stomach. SFX of the hit. Craven was a fool, just like his son. On the other hand, you have potential. As Spider-Man is getting up, we see Dr. Arm plant 2 of his arms into the wall like hooks. 2 of his tentacles. Arms. Into the wall like hooks. True talent is a terrible thing to waste. So you could either join me. Well, we don't like could either. So you could join me. Or get out of my way. In a swift motion, Dr. O's arms thrust into him like into Spider-Man like a wrecking ball, the glass shell nearly crushing Spider-Man against the wall of wreckage. Or get out of my way. So we have here in our notes, even though Spider-Man loses the fight, his backup plan is to plant a spider tracer device on Dr. O as he is escaping. Commissioner Stacy and the cops will get to the rooftop before Dr. Oak can kill Spider-Man, and the Commissioner will admonish Spider-Man for not involving him in the plan. Uncle Ben will ask Spider-Man why he feels the need to do this himself. The Lizard can find his way to Mayor Osborn, either in this chapter or set up as an Easter egg, something in the future. Or Norman gets him and uses his blood to become the Green Goblin. Norman could be on the run. We could show some more of the character or leave him for a while. Don't bring him back too early. We need to have Peter and Norman in a confrontation. All right, we have all this. Chameleon, double agent, triple agent. We're not there yet. So let's get these notes and move them to page 9. But we'll keep that Uncle Ben stuff in case we use it now. But Norman and Peter, the confrontation, we're not up to that yet. So let's move that over to 9. Today we do 7 and 8. And we will be finished with the first act in terms of structure. All right, so we left off on 6. Dr. O with his shell, pinned up against the wall, smashes into Peter like a fucking battering ram, crushes him against the wall. As Spider-Man slinks down to the ground, another of the Doctor's tentacles grabs him by the throat. So the Doctor will say, "I've grown bored of your tactics. I've grown bored of your tactics, so this shall be the last offer. You can leave with me. You can leave this tower." I like this. "I've grown bored of your tactics, so this shall be the last offer. You can leave this tower bathed in glory. You can leave this tower bathed in glory or covered in a body bag. I've grown bored of your tactics, so this shall be the last offer. You can leave this tower bathed in glory or covered in a body bag." I need to get Spider-Man to plant that tracer on him. As the Doctor pulls Spider-Man in close to his shell, we see Spider-Man secretly should we do it here? Yeah, he needs him to get in close. As the Doctor pulls Spider-Man in close to his shell, we see Spider-Man secretly pull a small tracer, spider tracer, out of his belt. Choose your fate, Spider-Man. You drive a hard bargain. Now he fucked him up. I don't. He wouldn't be. As the Doctor pulls Spider-Man in close to his shell, we see Spider-Man secretly pull a small spider tracer. We see. Keep saying Spider-Man. We see him pull a small spider tracer out of his belt. Choose your fate, Spider-Man. Choose your fate, Spider-Man. Can I just get 1 second to catch? Can I just get 1 second to readjust my split? Readjust my gut. So the idea is that he should yank him in really pissed off that he's stalling him. As the Doctor pulls Spider-Man in close to his shell, we see him secretly pull a small spider tracer out of his belt. So we're already writing the next scene already, because we were kind of writing it yesterday. I mean, the last class. As the Doctor pulls Spider-Man in close to his shell, we see him secretly pull a small spider tracer out of his belt. Choose your fate, Spider-Man. Can I just get 1 second to readjust my gut? We see an angry close-up on an angry Dr. O with his face pressed up against his glass shell, screaming at Spider-Man. While he is yelling, Spider-Man secretly slips the spider tracer onto the base of his chair. Spider-Man, beaten and smashed up. So I need to show that he's fucked up. As Spider-Man slinks down to the ground in pain, another of the Doctor's tentacles grabs him by the throat. Okay, good. Close up on an angry Dr. O with his face pressed up against the glass shell, screaming at Spider-Man with spit flying out of his mouth. While he is yelling, Spider-Man, beaten and smashed up, secretly slips the spider tracer onto the base of his chair. You dare placate me? You dare placate me, boy? Do you not see? Do you not see death staring? Do you not see the cold hand of death? Do you not see the cold hand of death staring at you? Do you not see the cold hand of death facing you? Not facing. You dare placate me, boy? Do you not see the cold hand of death? No, but I'm glad you have the shell up. No, but I'm glad you have the shell up. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the strength. You dare placate me, boy? Do you not see the cold hand of death? No, but I'm glad you have the shell up. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the strength to stall. To stall. What? Just then, we see the emergence of Commissioner Stacy and the squad of cops enter the destroyed rooftop. They come in, guns blazing, at Dr. O. Just then, we see the emergence of Commissioner Stacy and a squad of cops enter the destroyed rooftop. They come in, guns blazing at Dr. O. SFX of the guns blazing from the cops. We like that. So we need some dialogue. We got to do some mining. So we can finish this page. Because the idea is, okay, Dr. O escapes, right? So then we got to figure out how he escapes, whether it's the Ridgeville's going to pick him up, or he's going to jump off, or his men are going to provide cover fire. The cops surround Spider. I don't know if we're going to do that yet. I just want to lay it out to see how we're going to do it. We're 4 panels in. Let's use Amazing Spider-Man 91 to finish writing page 7. We know that Captain George Stacy died. Last issue, we should no longer have him to use in these storylines. But they were really just doing the same fucking thing over and over again. He'd show up at Gwen's. Captain George would ask him a couple of suspicious fucking questions. Spider-Man would say, oh, fuck, this guy's onto me, he's onto me. Well, no, he was onto him the whole fucking time they dragged it out. It's like watching an episode of The Walking Dead where they just drag a fucking storyline to death. So here we're at the funeral of Captain Stacy. She hates Spider-Man. She blames him for his fucking death. Just when he was about to reveal his damn secret, giving up his life to save another. So now we have Sam Bullitt, the politician, the man who would be mayor. Stacy's death will help my campaign, Carter. I know how to take advantage of it. So this issue is about dirty politics, which is crazy in the world we live in right now, about opportunity politics and senators showing up to fucking speeches and everybody trying to get arrested. They all want to be like Donald Trump. Slink around this town masked in costume. So this guy, Sam Bullitt's going to use the death of Captain George Stacy to go after Spider-Man and be tougher on crime. Now, of course, she hates Spider-Man. She never wants to hear fucking Spider-Man's name ever again. Here's Mary Jane. Spider-Man, I'll hate him forever. My old dad was so trusted. I tried to warn that Spider-Man was against him the whole time. Whether he meant to be or not, he killed my father. Oh, I hate this. She knows to blame him. In the coming election, one of the candidates, Sam Bullitt, is running on a law and order ticket. He used to be a cop, just like Dad. They knew each other in the past. I'm going to volunteer to help his campaign. Sam Bullitt. So she says, Sam Bullitt, I want to be on your campaign. I hate these criminals. So Sam Bullitt's there, and he's doing martial arts, and he's kicking some guy's asses. What do you figure his kid wants now? Stacy never had any use for me since I got booted off the force years ago. So Sam Bullock's a bad guy. He's going to try and nail Gwen Stacy because he's a piece of shit, bleeding liberals. He hates them all, long talking do gooders. I'm a bad guy, too soft, too charitable. You're a fine man, Gwendolyn, but he was too soft. That was his undoing. We're at war with the left wing antichrist who are trying to destroy this great, proud nation of ours. This is great. This was written in 1970, so it's always the same. Crooked politicians doing crooked things. The Stacey name behind me, the liberals won't know what to think. Get me the Daily Bugle. Sam Bullock. He's a fascist, living in the 70s. Calls me Uncle Tom. He's a piece of shit. So now he says, all right, Peter, I need you to go down and get some pictures of this Sam Bullock. He's got to take his mind off Gwen. Gwen hates him. Sam Bullock's on TV saying that Spider-Man's a killer. He's a menace. He's a piece of shit. We should all kill him. Spider-Man should be crushed. Kill him. I'm a goddamn crazy fucking wannabe Donald Trump fascist asshole, Hitler asshole. The cops are after me. They're going to beat the shit out of me. Now we're here. The cops are surrounding Spider-Man. Peter Parker takes pictures. They figure that since Peter Parker takes pictures, then he knows where Spider-Man is. They're going to follow him. They're going to try and fuck him up. Sam Bullock's going to threaten him. The art is kind of cool, but the storylines get a little cheesy. It's basically Peter has to pretend to get roughed up. It's always annoying. He's going to follow him, take his fucking shoes off, jump across the fucking rooftops. I mean, one thing about Spider-Man art is they really, really know how to draw in New York City with the fucking cool. You know, I miss New York, and I see there's some crazy fucking mayor's going to take over and destroy it. So I'm glad I got to live in New York when I did. And I got to see it through its magic. And maybe it'll be magical once again. But as of right now, we just have Spider-Man beating the shit out of some politicians' cronies, smashing them up with some webs. He sure needed that. Jumping across. He's running out of web fluid. He's got to go pick some up. But what do you know? Sam Bullock. Spider-Man, the one who killed my father. We thought there was a connection between you and Parker's. Now we have proof. So they were waiting at Peter's apartment. And I think what happens here in the next issue is Iceman from the X-Men gets the rub here. So we have Spider-Man versus the Iceman. So it's kind of like a cool WWE-style fight at the Garden with Gwen Stacy there on the line. And all this crazy shit happening. It's a really cool cover if you look at all the people in the windows. But as opposed to mining, did we get what we needed to help us finish page 7 out of the issue with Sam Bullock? Just then we see the emergence of Commissioner Stacy and a squad of cops enter the destroyed rooftops. They come in guns blazing at Dr. O. Oy, oy, oy. All right. Yes, effects of the guns blazing from the cops. The stall. It's Commissioner Stacy. Commissioner Stacy. Doctor? You're under arrest. No, he's going to say you're under arrest. He wouldn't say any of that shit. What is he going to say? What are we going to do here? Just then, we see the emergence of Commissioner Stacy and a squad of cops entering. We see the emergence of Commissioner Stacy and a squad of cops. Just then, we see the emergence of Commissioner Stacy and a squad of cops entering the destroyed rooftops. They come in guns blazing at Dr. O. SFX of the guns blazing from the cops. It needs something here. Would the commissioner be saying, Commissioner Stacy. This ends tonight, Doctor. This ends tonight, Doctor. I assume you won't be going quietly. This ends tonight, Doctor. I assume you won't be going quietly. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. I almost feel like we should do like a skyhook thing here. Like that, like in the Dark Knight. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. And towards the advancing. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. I assume you won't be going quietly. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner. But the only place I'm going is up. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner, but the only place I'm going is away. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner. But your trap but your trap is obviously flawed. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner, but your trap is obviously flawed. Nah. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner. I don't like it. Dr. O immediately, I know what I want to do art wise. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider Man and towards the advancing cops. The bullets bounce off of his shell and tentacles. SFX of the bouncing and ricocheting. How do you spell ricochet? Ricocheting bullets. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner, but my traps are far superior. But my traps are far superior to yours. Dr. O Dr. O's center tentacles turn to pipes which shoot out a thick mist of smoke. Essentially, smoke screening Dr. O's scented tentacles turn to pipes which shoot out a thick mist of smoke, essentially smoke screening the advancing cops and commissioner. Okay, do we have enough there? Do we want to add another panel here? Pulls in close to the shell, he spits. Dr. O's scented tentacles turn to pipes which shoot out a thick mist of smoke, essentially smoke screening the advancing cops and commissioner. SFX of the smoke screen. Of smoke screen and coughing cops. Even though Spider-Man loses the fight, his backup plan is to plant a spider tracer on Dr. O as he is escaping. We got that. We'll get to the rooftop before he can kill him. He'll admonish him. All right, so we're doing all this now. But we're not exactly finished with page 7 just yet. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner, but my traps are far superior to yours. See, he's not going to kill them, so what he's going to say is he's going to taunt them. You will not be executed tonight. I will need your assistance to collect my tributes. You will not be executed tonight. I will need your assistance to collect my tributes. Consider your lives spared. All right, so page 7's done. He smoke screened the fucking cops. Through the waft of smoke, through the waft of smoke screen, we see the dirigible swoop over through the waft of smoke screen. We see the dirigible swoop over and use a magnetic harness to begin to pull Dr. O back through the waft of smoke screen. We see the dirigible swoop over and use a magnetic harness to begin to pull Dr. O away from the tower. I will need your assistance to collect my tributes. Consider your lives spared. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner, But my traps are far superior to yours. That's just the voice I've given him right now. You will not be executed tonight. I will need your assistance to collect my tributes. Consider your lives spared. You know what? It shouldn't be fully bulletproof. The bullets the bullets bounce and crack the shell of Doc. Like, you gotta have a reason to get the fuck out of there. The bullets bounce and crack the shell of Dr. O's chair. The bullets bounce off the tentacles and crack the shell of Dr. O's chair, sending him setting him off guard and on the defensive. All right, good. Yeah, I wanted to fix that a little bit. Okay. SFX of the bouncing and ricocheting shells and cracking of the shell. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner, but my traps are far superior to yours. You know what? Let's move that line. We're going to move some lines here. Because he wouldn't say, sorry to disappoint you about the trap and all that shit. Let's copy. We're going to put this here. Get rid of this here. There we go. And move this here. You will not be executed tonight. I will need your assistance to collect my tributes. Consider your lives spared. There has to be, because otherwise he would have killed Spider-Man. There's got to be a reason why he's got to get the fuck out of there. And it's going to be because the cops are shooting at him and they crack the fucking shell. Dr. O's center tentacles turn to pipes which shoot out a thick mist of smoke, essentially smoke screening the advancing cops and Commissioner. Sorry to disappoint you, Commissioner. Oh no, so we don't. No line here. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. The bullets bounce off the tentacles and crack the shell of Dr. O's chair, setting him off guard and on the defensive. So I don't think we should have any lines here. Unless we want a line here. Dr. O immediately turns away from Spider-Man and towards the advancing cops. The bullets bounce off the tentacles and crack the shell of Dr. O's chair, setting him off guard and on the defensive. I assume you won't be going quietly. So the idea is the one weakness he has, now his tentacles are strong, is the machinery, his robotics are strong, but he can't fucking breathe, obviously. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason. Something we work into the story, we weave into the story is that he has to have a weakness, and the weakness is he can't fucking breathe. The orbit. That's why he needs the Baxter building. Okay. Let's get into our notes here before we forget. Dr. O wants to bust into the Baxter building to access all of Reed Richards' toys, which he needs to survive because he can't breathe outside of his shell. Something Krang-like to really give him a sense of being trapped and also having a weakness. All right. we're gonna use. Okay, we're gonna use. I'll pull it up when we actually get there. One of the Fantastic Four annual, I think it's number 1, shows off the Baxter Building and all the cool shit that they have in the Baxter Building. We're gonna use that in our finale. Our final fight. I don't know if it's a final fight, but our big fight scene between Spider-Man and Dr. O is going to be in the Baxter Building. All right, let's put that in here. Let's put it in. The final fight between Spider-Man and Dr. O will be at the Baxter Building, where they will fight with all of the gadgets from left over from Reed Richards. We will use the Fantastic Four annual number 1 with the blueprints of the old school Baxter Building, which we use for reference. Bang! Oh, I love when we get there. Something inside that fucking building is what he needs to breathe again, or he needs to just put that fucking building in orbit. There's got to be a motive. If he needs the money, or he needs the tech, or the ransom and all that money is to buy the tech, or he wants to buy the fucking building. We need to figure out, we need to get to the purpose of Dr. O's motivation. By the end of this story, is what we use to kill him. Again, it's more than just him being the angry architect. And I think what we'll do here, what we'll also do here is the commissioner's going to be like, dude, we're not working together anymore. You're sidelined. I can't have you running around doing rogue shit. And what happens when you fail and he goes and turns around and drops the city a day early? The commissioner's got to scold him right now. Consider your lives spared. We're pulling away from the tower. I like this. The smoke screen subsides as the dirigible takes off, essentially sucking away the smoke with it. Spider-Man is left in a crumbled pile of pain as the dirigible, the smoke screen subsides, the dirigible takes off, essentially sucking away the smoke with it. Spider-Man is left in a crumpled pile of pain as the smoke clears around him. As he looks up, he sees he is surrounded by an angry commissioner and the cops. As he looks up, he sees he is surrounded by an angry commissioner and the cops. As he looks up, he sees he is surrounded by an angry commissioner and the cops. Like, he'll try to wise his way out of this. The cops close in, but the commissioner stops him. Close up of the commissioner scolding Spider-Man. Spider-Man swings off as the commissioner walks away. I don't know if we're going to do that yet, but we're just kind of laying it out. We're laying it out. I like this. To the waft of smokescreen, we see the dirigible swoop over and use a magnetic harness to begin to pull Dr. O away from the tower. You will not be executed tonight. I will need your assistance to collect my tributes. Consider your lives spared. The smokescreen subsides as the dirigible takes off, essentially sucking away the smoke with it. Spider-Man is left in a crumpled pile of pain as the smoke clears around him. All right, I like that. It was an impulsive move. Nah, he's already said that. You can't keep repeating that line, no. The smokescreen subsides as the dirigible takes off, essentially sucking away the smoke with it. So it's sucking away the smoke. Spider-Man is left in a crumpled pile of pain as the smoke clears around him. Spider-Man. I've drawn the nickname. I've drawn the name Spider-Man. And I've taken to it. But tonight, I got squashed by an octopus. I've drawn the name Spider-Man, and I've taken to it. But tonight, I got squashed by an octopus. As he looks up, he is surrounded by an angry commissioner and the cops. So now Spider-Man will come at him with a wisecrack. Any chance? Any chance you have a pot steaming downstairs? Any chance you have a pot steaming downstairs? Like he's thinking they're gonna have a wisecracking thing there. He's gonna yell at him right here. You mind telling me what the fuck? You mind telling me what the fuck you just pulled tonight? You mind telling me what the fuck you tried to pull tonight? Do we need the fuck in there? He wouldn't curse. You mind telling me what you tried to pull just now? What you tried to pull just now? You mind telling me what you tried to pull? What you tried to pull tonight? Give me a reason. Why I shouldn't order them? Why I shouldn't order my men to open fire? You mind telling me what you tried to pull tonight? Give me a reason why I shouldn't order my men to open fire. So Spider-Man comes in with a wisecrack, thinking they got that relationship. You know, last time I tried to he offered him a fucking cigar. He's gonna yell at him right now. Get a little character change here. Because he did something impulsive and stupid. Any chance you have a pot steaming downstairs? You mind telling me what you tried to pull tonight? Give me a reason why I shouldn't order my men to open fire. The cops close in, but the commissioner stops them. So let's have one of the cops turn around and say, Cop 1, cops close in, but the commissioner stops them. The cops close in, but the commissioner stops them. Cop number 1. Cop 1. The cops close in, but the commissioner stops them. First of all, let's get that damn mask off you. Mr. Stacy. Stand down, officer. And they wouldn't say officer. Stand down, Lieutenant. This one is mine. Stand down, Lieutenant. This one is my screw up. Stand down, Lieutenant. This one is my screw up. Get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. Get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. Stand down, Lieutenant. This one is my screw up. Everyone get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. See if you can track that fucking thing. See if you can track that thing. See if you can track that flying sludge. Stand down, Lieutenant. This one is my screw up. Everyone get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. See if you can track that flying sludge. Stand down, Lieutenant. I need a moment alone. Stand down, Lieutenant. I'm gonna need a moment alone, boys. This one is my screw up. Everyone get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. See if you can track that flying sludge. When you say sludge, that word doesn't work. Everyone get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. See if you can track that flying carpet. I like the carpet, that works. Stand down, Lieutenant. I need a moment alone, boys. This one is my screw up. Everyone get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. See if you can track that flying carpet. Not that flying carpet, that magic carpet. See if you can track that magic carpet. Everyone get downstairs and get on the drones that are working. See if you can track that magic carpet. That I like. Close up on the commissioner scolding Spider-Man. So now we'll cut it for a second or two in terms of they all left. The cops all cleared out. I gave you too much. I gave you too much leeway, kid. I gave you too much leeway, son. You made a mistake tonight. I had a plan, Commissioner. And what if you failed? I gave you too much leeway, son. You made a mistake tonight. I had a plan, Commissioner. And what if you failed? What if you triggered him? And what if you failed? What if you triggered him into pulling those levers and dropping this entire city back to the ground? And what if you failed? What if you triggered him to pulling those levers and dropping this entire city? And what if you failed? What if you triggered him to pulling those levers and dropping this entire city to the ground? I gave you too much leeway, son. You made a mistake tonight. I had a plan, Commissioner. And what if you failed? What if you triggered him to pulling those levers and dropping this entire city to the ground? You don't know a thing about your opponent. You don't know a thing about your opponent, and yet you care to assume. Now, see, you got to save that part. Because he's got to tell him that he put a tracer on him. And what if you failed? You know what? Tell him right here. I had a plan, Commissioner. I needed to get him in close. I needed to get him in close, and I was able to slip a tracer on him. We're going to save that. Because I need more yelling at him. I had a plan, Commissioner. I needed to get him in close. I had a plan, Commissioner. I needed to get him in close, and I slipped the tracer on him. I had a plan, Commissioner. I needed to get him in close, get him in. I needed to get him in close, and I slipped the tracer on him. No need to thank me. And what if you failed? What if you triggered him into pulling those levers and dropping this entire city to the ground? You don't know your opponent. And dropping this entire city to the ground. Spider-Man fires back. They stare each other down like adversaries who respect each other. And what if you failed? What if you triggered him into pulling those levers and dropping this entire city to the ground? because I knew if I called his bluff, I could get him out in the open. Because I knew if I called his bluff, I could get him out in the open and reveal a weakness. Because I knew if I called his bluff, I can get him out in the open and reveal a weakness. Take him down. And then Commissioner will hit him with, you don't know a thing. You don't know a thing about your opponent. You don't know a thing about your opponent. And your assumptions, and you base your assumptions, while putting an entire city You don't know a thing about your opponent. And you base your assumptions while putting an entire city at risk. That's not being a hero. That's just stupid. You don't know a thing about your opponent, and yet you base your assumptions, So he's getting him, man. He's getting all detective on him. You don't know a thing about your opponent, and yet you base your assumptions while putting an entire city at risk. That's not being a hero. That's just stupid. Spider-Man fires back. They stare each other down like adversaries who respect each other. Okay. Because I knew if I called his bluff, I could get him out in the open and reveal a weakness. Take him down. You don't know a thing about your opponent, and yet you base your assumptions on putting an entire city at risk. That's not being a hero. That's just stupid. Let's get one more panel in here. What did I just do? And yet you base your assumptions on putting an entire city at risk. That's not being a hero. That's just stupid. So let's get one more panel here. Commissioner walks away as Spider-Man is about to swing off. He leaves out one last what? Commissioner walks away as Spider-Man is about to swing off. He gets in one last word before Spider-Man exits. Exits the rooftop. Let's give him that one last little piece, and because this is page 8, so let's do this right. Let's end this right with some words of wisdom. Uncle Ben's got to be the one that says you don't have to do this alone. Here we go. Commissioner walks away as Spider-Man is about to swing off. He gets in one last word before Spider-Man exits the rooftop. I've been a detective a long time. I don't know who you are. I don't care. I don't know who you are. I don't care. But I do know, but I do know when I'm talking to a kid. Being impulsive doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look scared. I'm not your father. I'm not your father, kid. Nor will I try to be. You want to use that fancy tracer. You want to use that fancy tracer and track this man down. All right, here we go. I've been a detective a long time. I don't know who you are. I don't care. But I do know when I'm talking to a kid. Being impulsive doesn't make you strong. It doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look scared. I'm not your father, kid, nor will I try to be. You want to use that nor will I try to be. You got lucky tonight. Nor will I try to be. You got lucky tonight. You want to use that fancy tracer and track this man down? You're on your own. He's saying he's like, you're on your own. I've got a city to protect. In a way, he's telling him, you want to protect the city? Or you want to go and fight this fucking guy? I've been a detective a long time. I don't know who you are. I don't care. But I do know when I'm talking to a kid. Being impulsive doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look scared. I'm not your father, kid, nor will I try to be. You got lucky tonight. You want to use that fancy tracer and track this man down? You're on your own. I got a city to protect. Oh, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, page 7 and 8. Graphic novel being written. The first act is finished. We're having some goddamn fun. However, we do need to do 2 comic books. That is part of the class. Let's go through this issue real quick to see if we can pull some notes for the upcoming issues, because I really don't know where to fucking go from there. What we have here is, plus this is the Sam Bullet shit. So let's get through this, the whole politician stuff. So now they're waiting in his apartment. He's got to grab Gwen Stacy, and he's got to escape because she's being brainwashed by Sam Bullet. Now what they do here is Sam Bullet's like, oh man, this is everything I needed to show Spider-Man's a weirdo, and then Gwen Stacy's punching at him. And then who just happens to be in town hanging out is good old Bobby Drake in his fucking purple plaid suit, hanging with his bitch. Who is this girl? Spider-Man. Bobby, look, that poor girl. Again, Spider-Man, bite your tongue, baby. She's right, but I have to get rid of her first. It's getting late, honey. I'll call a cab for you. Late, but guy needs his beauty sleep. All right, so Bobby Drake goes in. I've been out of action with the X-Men long enough anyway. X-Men is super. So now he wasn't even with the X-Men now. Didn't they come and change over in the 70s? Or that was 1975 or something, because I think the X-Men were out of circulation during this time. So they were just trying to get Iceman a nice little contract, give him a nice little Marvel rub. So they had him come and work a program with the Shawn Michaels of Marvel, Spider-Man, but he's trying to get a fucking minute here to say, look, you and me just got to have some fucking time to talk, please. I want to be able to talk to you, but then this asshole fucking Iceman gets in the way and starts fucking Spider-Man up. Spider-Man's pissed and says, listen, jerk off. Who the fucking asked you to be here? Your B team. I'm fucking Shawn Michaels. I'm the showstopper. Then it turns out Sam Bullock, this prick politician, sent this fucking guy to go in there and do some fucking dirty work. Iceman brings her in there. Now she's all in love with Iceman. They're going to do a fucking porno movie together. Some double penetration. It's all good. But J. Jonah Jameson likes Sam Bullock. They're going to load some guns. They're going to shoot some people. Bullett's men did the last issue. Turns out they beat up on Parker. Your strong-arm boys tried to put the muscle on Parker the other day. They forgot he works for the Bugle. The kid told us what happened, and it smells, mister. So it's good to know at the end of the day, Jameson sticks up for his people. And then Sam Bullock talks shit to Robbie Robertson, calls him an Uncle Tom. So it turns out that Peter Parker's like, these guys are bad news. I'm going to go fuck some shit up. I'm going to get dressed up as Spider-Man, but it turns out this prick Iceman is still around. He's like, listen, dude, you are really a pain in the fucking ass with your stupid ice sleds. Go back there and play Lamplighter. You're a fucking prick. You're a pain in my ass. I got a fucking chick I got to deal with. You're not going to carbonite freeze me. Could you please go back to the fucking X-Men and get a goddamn life? They got me working a fucking match with you today. I got to give you a goddamn rub so people give a shit about fucking Iceman and the X-Men again. Fuck you. Fuck him. Fuck Robbie Robertson. Fuck the gangsters. Fuck the politicians. You see what I'm talking about, Iceman? I'm the fucking guy. Get these guys out of here. Make them slide on a fucking oil slick. Make them bang their fucking head, slip and style slide. Get them all up in the web. We got to expose Sam Bullock for being the fraud that he is. Everybody comes in and shows what a piece of shit he is. He's arrested. And ladies and gentlemen, the next issue will bring us the originator of Spawn, the Prowler. So when we come back to the next class, we will start with the second act of Chapter 4. We got Spider-Man just got scolded by Commissioner Stacy. We got to figure out where to go from there, as we need to do a scene transition here. Maybe we'll show Dr. O going to his hideout. Maybe he'll show him put his nanobots in action. So what we want to do is we want to try and get the opportunity for Spider-Man to look for Norman Osborn, because now the cops, Commissioner Stacy's turned his back on him and says, dude, fuck you. I turned my back on you, dude. Ooh. Ate too much sauce tonight. So we know what to do next class. I had fun. Hope you had fun. May fate and fate decide your fortune. If you enjoy it, buy a textbook. Because as you see, 1 minute I'm at 19,250. Then we're back down below again. It's every time I refresh this button, I get scared. See? The number goes down. It goes up. It goes down. It's just fucking torture. It used to be fun. At the end, the number would just go up, 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 because everybody getting in those last minute pledges. And now at the last minute, you got to hold your breath before you drop below a number. And look, it's a blessing to be here. But again, you set yourself up for some anger. You set goals for yourself. When you don't hit the goal, you got to get mad or spend less money. Peace, love, and war. All that shit in between.